Today on Windy City Weekend, it's dinner, drinks, and a movie. We're in the kitchen with a quick and easy pesto gnocchi bake recipe. And meet the two women behind Chicago's first female-owned brewery and cider house. Plus, film critic Richard Roeper stops by with a review of Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Now, here's Val Warner and guest co-host Jeremy Joyce.
Welcome to Windy City Weekend. You're getting a beautiful shot of our Windy City. It is Friday, March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day. You can see that I am starting right here in the show, in the kitchen today, because our studio was taken over last night for the mayoral debates. And my guest co-host today and partner in crime, Ryan, is off. But look who's with me. I have the amazing guest co-host joining me for this half hour. Black People Eats, social media influencer. And of course, he runs that blog that I just mentioned, Jeremy Joyce. Hey, Jeremy.
Hey, Miss Val. How you doing? Thank you so much. I'm here with Auntie today.
You're here with Auntie today. And Auntie and nephew are going to have a good time in this kitchen. Both of us have on our green. It is St. Patty's Day. We're in the kitchen. And so when we were thinking about who would be a guest co-host, we're over here because the studio is still, you know, in mayoral debate form. I was like, Jeremy Joyce. He's never done it before. You run this incredibly popular blog, Black People Eats. You were on the show for Black People Eats when Windy City Live was around. You remember that?
And it was so amazing. We talked about food and all great things. It was a good time. It feels good to be back.
We fell in love with you and your food reviews, your facial expressions, your reactions to what you were eating. We were like, who is this guy? And we have to have him on. How did you get started with Black People Eats? Because you had a regular day job, and this was kind of your side thing, right? Initially?
Yes, that's correct. I was in corporate finance at Northern Trust. Then 5 years ago, I said, I want to amplify the voices of black restaurants and just be the microphone so that everybody can hear them. And this is the best way to connect the world to black culture. And the best way to do that is through food. And that's what we just do every day.
Every day now. But how did you get the faith or the guts or not be scared to quit your day job and just go all in and follow your passion?
My father, my mentor, and a lot of prayer. It was tough, but the moment I let go, I started getting more corporate brand deals, more opportunities, and that's what led me here today.
And it led you here today on St. Patty's Day. So why don't we take our initial toast of the day, because we have a lot of green going on right now. This is Green River. Now I understand you or I both have never had Green River before.
We have not.
This is actually just pop. So you want to take our first sip together? Cheers.
See?
Let's see what we think. Well, it does kind of taste like Sprite.
Yeah, I like this. It's got that great flavor to it. Well, I love lemon lime drinks, so this is right up my alley for me. But I know you're on a diet, so how do you feel about it?
You know what? I thought it was going to be super sugary, syrupy, sweet. It's not as sweet as I thought. And you're right. I do like a lemon lime. My son would love this because his go-to drink for everything, and I don't buy pop at home, but when we're out, is to get a Sprite.
Well, not at all. So you might have to bring that over so he could try it.
I've never even seen this in the store, but I guess now it's on all the end caps because of St. Patty's Day, so this will be a good time to stock up on their Green River. And of course, because it is St. Patrick's Day, we would be remiss if we didn't have corned beef and hash.
That looks good.
This does look good. I mean, we both have our forks. We're both foodies. Shall we? Okay, what do you want to? You're going to do the cabbage? I'm going to try the cabbage.
I'm going to try a little bit of cabbage. You know, we need a little vegetables.
Oh, this is really good.
Now that's up your diet, Alex. I know you're trying to eat. You're eating healthier, so I think that works for you.
I made cabbage yesterday. I was craving cabbage, went to the store, and it didn't dawn on me that it was the day before St. Patrick's Day. And I was like, wow, the cabbage is only 49 cents a pound. I bought a couple heads of cabbage, and I made it for dinner last night.
Did you save me some?
I do have a little bit left over. And that means you got to come over then. This is really good. And so eat all the corned beef hash and cabbage that you can today. But you brought something super decadent and super special for St. Patty's Day from one of your favorite restaurants.
Yes, I did. So this is a black-owned restaurant, Sunrise Cafe. Now here you can get infused and non-infused, which comes in the butter. And as I will show here, you know, you pour.
Now, when you say infused, what do you mean?
You know, know, they don't give you a good time unless you ask for a good time. So all of the syrups that they use, this honey butter, they actually make it infused, but we have the regular, so we're gonna be fine.
Okay.
And well, you know, all you just do is pick up a little waffle.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay, here goes the diet now.
Yeah, listen, I'm not responsible for no calories, okay?
Okay, you're not responsible. You're just gonna add a few more minutes to the
take a little bite?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, you see.
Now, what is this honey butter syrup?
That is something that they make in the restaurant.
Oh, my goodness.
This is a St. Patrick's Day special. It's a green leaf cake with the chicken. And then they also have these biscuits.
I want another bite.
So they also have these biscuits. Yes, very good. And it also comes with a Jolly Rancher drink as well. This is something that they did, you know, for our culture, for St. Patrick's Day, to give honor to Chicago. Because, you know, St. Patrick's Day, everybody goes green. You
know what? You brought up a good point, because St. Patrick's Day is not just for the Irish. Everybody is Irish on St. Patty's Day.
Yes.
So I love that some of these black restaurants are getting in on St. Patty's Day and offering these kind of menus. Now, is this going to be just for today, only for the weekend? Because
so
this is
actually,
really good.
what the owner told me was because they've been doing so well, the whole entire month.
Oh, the month?
The month. Go Green March, the whole month.
Oh, good. Now, I got to try a biscuit since it's here.
Do you want a little butter on it?
Oh, I thought it already had some on it.
You know, hey, I just want to make sure, you know, we do have a, I don't want to break you too far from your diet. I am not responsible for the calories. You want to dig in on the biscuit?
Speaking of which, okay, so you run Black People Eats.
Yes, ma'am.
And you try all of these different restaurants. You give them exposure. You're eating all this great food. How do you stay so slim?
A lot of people always ask me that. I have a wonderful trainer, drink a lot of water, and sea moss. And I always have to be on my feet. I always have to be on your feet, because if not, it starts to retain. So I try to always be on the go.
Okay, so a lot of water, a trainer, sea moss, and then you can eat whatever you want?
Eat whatever you want.
Okay, then that means I can go into this biscuit right here.
Yeah, I can't leave you behind.
No, you can't. I'm just gonna do one little extra dip, only because this honey butter.
See the crisp edges at the bottom? And I'm gonna just put it down because I don't want to dig too much. See, this is how I keep that weight. I gotta know when to stop, because that's good, right? Yes. You don't want to keep digging in when something's really good. You gotta bring some friends with you on dinner night, and then that way, date night, and then that way you don't have to worry about eating too much food.
This is where discipline comes in. I remember Carla Hall, famed chef Carla Hall, came on the show. We asked her back when the Chew was on, how do you eat all that food and not want to keep eating bite? She said, you have to do the one bite rule. Because if you keep having multiple bites, that does not do well for you.
Yeah, it's easy to have one bite when you're with a lot of friends. It's hard to have one bite when you're by yourself.
Right. Well, I can have multiple bites of this cabbage, but I'm going to do that in the commercial break, because we're going to take a quick break right now. Coming up next, chef and store director from the Strachan Van Til, Schererville, Indiana, shares a delicious pesto gnocchi baked recipe. And then we're also going to meet the 2 local women behind the first female-owned brewery in Cider House here in Illinois. Plus, Richard Roeper is here. He's going to fill us in on a Disney Plus documentary that's perfect for St. Patrick's Day. Don't you go anywhere. We're just getting started. One thing we're missing today is a glass of red wine. We should have had green wine or something. That gnocchi looks amazing.
It does. That looks delicious, Val. For Lisa's full recipe and a list of products used, head to abc7chicago.com.
Cheers. Happy St. Patty's Day, Rich.
Plunge it.
Yeah. Oh, and we already have this.
It's almost 5 o'clock in Dublin.
It's almost right in Dublin, right. But don't drink too much, because you got to tell us whether we're spending or saving. First up, imagine saying a magical word and instantly being transformed into a superhero. Zachary Levi, am I saying that right?
Yep.
Okay, it's back in the sequel to Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Take a look.
A lot has changed in the last few years. The wizard gave me superpowers. Shazam! And then everybody got superpowers.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
All right, here's the situation.
Started from the bottom, now the whole team here.
The daughters of Atlas are coming to hunt us.
Children stole the power of the gods. Shazam! You ripped it from our father's core.
Okay, I feel like maybe I should be writing all this down.
Give us the powers, child.
Your world will not survive this.
You want these powers? Come get them!
Ooh, does the sequel live up to the first, Rich?
Unfortunately, no, guys. This is the save. You know, if you walked into the middle of this movie, it could be any superhero movie we've seen in the last 25 years. You see it there. You know, there's some sort of magic apple they want to get, and then there's a staff, and then you get an Oscar winner to play the god, you know, Helen Mirren. I mean, we've seen it all before. The first one was really sweet and kind of stressed the importance of a family that came together, and now they're just going through the motions. Really disappointing.
Really disappointing. Yeah. Oh, that's disappointing for us to hear as well.
Oh, well, maybe in this next one we're going to talk about it might be better.
Yes.
Next up, in Boston Strangler, Keira Knightley and Carrie Coon play the real-life reporters who in the 1960s investigated the infamous Boston murders, which is a real movie, which is a real story. Here's a clip.
I think I found something. 3 women were strangled over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't see the interest. These are nobodies.
Who do you think our readers are? And that's just it. Why would anybody go around killing 3 nobody women?
And how do you plan to find that out?
Let me profile the victims. See if there's any connection.
Kid, you're not covering a homicide.
Why not?
Because you don't have any experience covering homicides.
How am I supposed to get any experience if you won't give me a shot?
Oh, I can already tell this has got to be a spin.
Big spend, Val. You know, as a newspaper guy, I love movies that get newspaper reporting right. That's the great Chris Cooper playing the editor there. And these, as Jeremy mentioned, these are 2 real-life Boston reporters who kind of cracked this infamous case. And think about being female reporters in the early 60s in Boston, where the patriarchy is not only in the newsroom, but in the police department, everywhere in the community. Sure. And they're real-life heroes. When you see the story, it's really beautifully done. Dark material, of course, but one of the best movies so far this year.
So suspenseful.
Of the year.
Very suspenseful. Yeah, there's a lot. Oh, there are a couple of moments where you're like, oh man, oh man.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, we got us a spin, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, Lucky Hank is a comedy drama series in which an English department chairman working at an underfunded college is on the verge of a midlife crisis. Rich, what do you think of this one?
Big spend on this, Val. That's Oak Park's own Bob Odenkirk, of course, who just got done playing Better Call Saul, and he instantly creates another wonderful character. It's set in kind of a second-tier college town, and it gets that campus life really, really well. It's funny. It's touching. It's one of those, like, 10 minutes into it, you're like, oh, yeah, I'm binging this baby.
Okay, so that's binge-worthy material.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, it is supposed to be really cold tomorrow, so it might be a great day to stay in and binge.
Yeah, you're right. So now it's St. Patrick's Day, and finally, just in time for St. Patrick's Day, David Letterman joins U2 musicians Bono and The Edge for a concert performance in Ireland. Rich, it's the holiday season. Is this a spend or a save?
Yeah, Jeremy, perfect timing, as you guys have been mentioning for this. This is a big spend. Of course, Bono and The Edge grew up in Dublin, so they return to their roots, and it's really fascinating because you get all these great performances, and David Letterman, who's a huge fan, kind of acts as our tour guide. But they talk about how when they were coming up in the 70s and 80s, Ireland was really changing as well and becoming a much more progressive, liberal, inclusive country. The first country to actually legalize same-sex marriage. And Bono and The Edge were kind of at the cutting edge of all that with their music because they were such activists as well. And then you just get, Dublin never looks so good as it does in this movie. It just makes you want to go to Ireland.
I was going to ask you, have you ever been to Dublin?
I have, yeah, a few different times.
There's
a couple of warrants I can go back in another 5 years, but all is well there.
So he can take us soon then.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
You can be our tour guide. Wow, okay, great, Rich. So we've got us a couple spins in there and some binge-worthy material.
Absolutely.
Appreciate that. And since that movie takes place in Ireland, we have Guinness beer, right? Cheers, everyone. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Rich, of course, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next week, and we'll be right back. Time flies when you're having fun, especially when you're in the kitchen. Hopefully, maybe you're at home watching and you're in your kitchen enjoying this show just as much as I did. Jeremy, I don't know if you heard about this, but a couple of weeks ago, I mentioned a prom giveaway in honor of our dear friend, Erica Watson. I don't know if you knew her.
She was amazing.
She really was amazing. Good friend of the show, good friend of mine personally. Well, and she also was one of the founding members of Shy Gives Back. Basically, Shy Gives Back has chosen a lucky young lady as the belle of the ball. This is all dedicated to Erica. She's our winner. And here she is. Her name is Miracle Scott Hale, and she is a senior at Kenwood Academy, where Erica went to school. She's 17 years old and the eldest of her siblings. Her community activism is applaudable. She participates in numerous organizations, including Ladies of Virtual and a mental health club that she actually started. It's called STEP, Students Traveling Through Emotional Paths. Miracle will receive a custom dress, makeup, hair, transportation, and a whole lot more that we're not even going to get into right now. Her prom send-off will be completely sponsored in true belle of the ball fashion. So congratulations to Miracle. Hopefully you are watching, and it sounds like you are well deserving, and Shy Gives Back is going to do everything to make sure she is truly the belle of the ball, and her night is one to remember.
That's amazing. That is truly, truly amazing.
Yeah, and you were amazing. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
I didn't ask you earlier. We only have about 45 seconds, but how do you choose your restaurants?
So, you know, we're community driven, so a lot of community reach out to us. They either email us, info@blackpeopleeats.com, and they'll say, hey, there's this new restaurant, Val's Cookies. We really want you to go try it. They have chocolate chip, peanut butter. Or sometimes restaurant owners will reach out to us, or we'll just do some research and just find them.
Yeah, and people really are watching your page when they visit town and they want to find out where do we need to go, especially if they want to go in the community. So good job with everything you're doing. Keep it up. And I would love to come to some of these restaurants with you.
They heard it here first, so we have to get you in there. We're
There's
gonna have to do something.
actually a Jerk restaurant in Beverly that's Black-owned that recently opened.
That is correct. Jerk 48 recently just opened.
Have you been there already?
On 95th Street. Yes, I've been there.
Oh, I wanted to go. All right, well, that's going to do it for us. Ryan will be back next week. Jeremy, thanks again for filling in today. Have a great weekend, everyone.